A third and fourth attempt. Now let's go through this. We see that he's actually winning. Trump is winning. Are they going to pull out every stop known to man for him not to win? They've talked about the voters, and they've talked about harvesting. They've talked about all these things. Attempts have been 0 and 2. And then all of a sudden, there's two situations now that could have been an attempt on his life again. We're going to discuss those today. The third being maybe something in a car. And the fourth, people falling ill at his event. We're going to discuss both of those today. Not only that, we're going to discuss what billionaires are doing with their money. No matter what they're telling you, always look at what they're doing with their money. And they said if Kamala wins, we're pulling our money. How serious is this time in history when we have someone who is so inept who is running against someone who is so prosecuted and persecuted? Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to The Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, that's okay, but let us know what you think about the content of today. Now today we're going to be discussing the third and fourth attempt, but also we're going to be discussing the severity of our money. Because when you see billionaires pulling their money, kind of like Warren Buffett did a few weeks ago and making it all cash, and then also Mr. Paulson this week, it's a big deal. You may hear conversations and hear all these Goldman Sachs and Bank of America people supporting Kamala, but look at what they're doing with their money. So first, let's jump into the Trump situation. We have a third situation where on the road to an event, there was a potential bomb. Now, they have already said that they have found it, and now they're going to do all means necessary to try to figure out who put that there and the cause of it, and was it a potential attack on Trump. Now, we should feel grateful because we have the FBI working on this and the Secret Service working on this, which have both absolutely failed Trump and absolutely, to be honest with you, DOJ is going after Trump. So I don't know how they're going to protect. If I was Trump, I would hire private investigators and also a private squadron to watch me, almost like a something kind of like a old school Blackwater, situation, because I just don't trust who's protecting us. Again, how do these people know my route so well? If I was the president, how did they know I was going to golf when that was not on the schedule? How do they know exactly where I'm going to be if a lot of those things by security measures are taking away from the public so they won't know? Now, the third was a pretty big deal, but let's talk about the fourth. I think this is one that they haven't yet come out and ruled if this was attack on someone or if this was a situation with the stage or what, but it says breaking. Media Report dropped this news. It says approximately 20 attendees of the Trump's Tucson, Arizona rally reported becoming ill with a mysterious symptom and with blurry vision, swelling shortly after the rally concluded. All those reported falling ill were seated at the same side of the stage where Trump was entering to go to his podium. One attendee said the doctor informed her that she had suffered chemical burns. So was there some kind of chemical attack or a planned chemical attack on Trump? The Trump campaign has been collecting information. We remain committed to countless patriots to high-attend energy, high-impact rallies across the country, and we want them safe. So they're trying to make sure that they're safe. They're trying to make sure, of course, Trump is safe, but everybody that attends. Now, the more and more that he is out in the open, the more and more his vulnerabilities are showing, not because of him, but because of the people that are supposedly protecting him. How would this two things happen, just like the first two happened? How would this happen? How would we see that there's a potential bomb on the way to where Trump is going? And then on top of that, how can one section of this place where Trump was entering be exposed to some kind of chemical, and it only happened right there? It may be coincidence. It could be very well coincidental. But I think there's more here. Trump is threatening to cut tons of taxes. Trump is threatening to take world powers and actually put tariffs on them. Trump is actually threatening the deep state here in America with the way that they do politics and changing it. Again, think of who is on the side of Trump and who is not on the side of Trump. Even Republicans who are part of the establishment are starting to all maneuver towards Democrats. That should tell you something. He also said he was going to release the transcripts and the redacted information and the classified information on JFK, on Epstein. That's some big list there. So when you hear this from this guy, he's going against everything that the establishment and the status quo wants. So what else? What would they do? What is the main initiative for them? They want to destroy this man. So if they want to destroy this man, how are they going to keep on doing it? We've seen now 2 for sure attempts, 2 more that's suspected attempts. I mean, you know, a cat only has 9 lives. What are we going to keep on seeing this happen? When are we going to realize that either there's some major coincidence happening, or there's someone on the inside, or there's some situation where everyone's against him that's in power? Because he is a threat to break down the establishment. I love how they use he's a threat. He may be a threat, but he's not a threat like they say he is. He's a threat in the system that they have tried to build and try to take advantage of American people. I've told you once before, personally, I mean, I wish Trump was even more conservative. But you know, like yesterday, I mean, here he is. He takes a gift to this kid who is sick, and he couldn't wait to give it to him. Gave it a present to him. Now, that pulls on everybody's heartstrings. I know it's politics. They do it all the time. But the thing about Trump, he's more real than we've ever seen when it comes to politicians. He just is a likable guy. Now, he may not be likable to the deep state. He may not be likable to the establishment. But he's extremely likable to normal Main Street folks. Because, again, he's buying burgers for people, pizza for people. He's giving gifts to these kids. That is true. That is something he doesn't have to do. Remember, he's an ultra billionaire. All these politicians that take advantage of you, they all made millions off of you. Remember, we pay their salaries, and those people in the establishment all made millions off you and me. Trump didn't do that. He made billions without politics. Actually lost a little bit and then turned around and made tons more because of the persecution they were pushing on him, and then him making Truth Social. So you tell me again, as I stated before, billionaires like him and Elon Musk, and even some of the biggest tech providers in Silicon Valley are now supporting Trump. Even some of the lifelong Democrats who have some sense, like Bill Ackman, who is a lifelong Democrat, is supporting Trump because they realize not only can he watch our money better, this is wrong, what they're doing to him. Even The Rock the other day, and Mark Zuckerberg and The Rock, and people like that, big stars. Now, they're not going to tell you they endorse him because they know it's just a nail in their coffin. But what they're saying is, we needed to see him stand up after the last attempt. We needed to see his power and strength. That's the kind of strength any president should have. Now, that's big words, especially coming from liberal people. Now let's move right into the next story, Kamala. Billionaire hedge fund manager John Paulson announced that he would withdraw all his investments from the market and move it to cash and gold if Kamala wins. Paulson, whose hedge fund manages an estimated $9 billion across various sectors, voiced concern of Kamala Harris's proposed economic policies. These include increasing corporate tax rates, capital gains tax, introducing a 25% tax on unrealized gains for wealthy individuals. He warned these policies would have a mass selling and market crash. Remember, Warren Buffett moved all his money out into almost all cash, other than just a few trades. He's sitting in cash, just like this guy said, I'm going to sit in cash and gold. Because they know these policies will bankrupt us even more than we're already bankrupt. If we keep doing these same policies, we're going to get the same results. A broken economy, the fact, like for instance, yesterday, they decreased the rate. You don't believe the Fed is completely in bed with the Democrats and the liberals and the presidency? You can't lower the rates when our economy is in shambles. And guess what they did? They did it because they wanted to look quote unquote better for Kamala. I said this a year ago that they were going to do this. They were going to drop rates right before the election so it makes the market look great. It makes like everybody's happy. But when you have billionaires saying, pull your money out because if she gets in, she's going to destroy the market. That's a huge thing. Now, one more thing I want to mention, and this is something I thought was really big. I didn't mention this in the intro, and I did it on purpose because it's a pretty big story that I want you to read into a little bit. It just came across that FBI stated that Iran hackers, you remember when the hackers of Iranian descent hacked the Trump account, and they were trying to get all this information, got JD Vance's information. Guess what? They took that information and they gave it to people that were associated with the Biden campaign. Now, that's a pretty big deal. You don't believe that's some insider third world country style cheat stuff right there? The Iranian people who hacked the accounts, hacked the information of the Trump campaign, was known to give it to the Biden campaign. That's a big deal. And when you think about that, that means Biden and Harris had inside information on their opponents that was hacked and taken illegally. What did I say when I first started this video? That what will they do? How far will they go to not let this man be president? 0-4? The fact of ballot harvesting? The fact that they're telling you the polls are 50-50 when really they're probably nowhere near? There's a lot at stake when it comes to this election. And when billionaires are standing on one side who are typically liberal saying that this lady's going to bankrupt us, and then you have people that are on the conservative side saying this is our leader. I mean, Trump is going to show that he can cut our taxes and make our insurance be cheaper and make our economy better. He's proven it in the private sector. Why would we not believe that? JD Vance, he's a military guy, a Yale student, and also he was a tech guy. He was over a big tech firm in San Francisco. So tell me, they have the game plans, along with having Elon Musk willing to sign on to it, along with having people like Vivek and Tulsi and RFK. You cannot tell me the establishment people that's made billions off of you can do a better job than what these private sector individuals have done. It's unbelievable that people can still be brainwashed to vote for Kamala, even when everybody other than the establishment or people tied to the establishment is saying she should win. It's time to stand up and us wake up and open our eyes to the truth. And the truth is, they're going to do all they can to stop Trump. But the truth be told, the American people can do all they can to support him and get him over the threshold. And hopefully, even though it will be some major corrections and some tough times, because we are not out of the woods with our debts. We're not out of the woods with our wars. We're not out of the woods with the stuff that's going on, with people hating us. He's the best man for the job versus Kamala. Guys, let me know your thoughts. These stories are huge. Again, I always hate to bring these stories. I wish I could always bring like cupcakes and rainbows and unicorns. But the truth is, we live in a fallen world that is reality. It sucks right now because we have bad leadership. With good leadership, things can turn around and be a whole lot better. Guys, again, please subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about these stories. The FBI story telling us that Iranian hackers gave information to the Biden campaign. That's a foreign adversary that's working alongside one of the biggest parties in America. Does that not scare you a little bit? Let me know your thoughts. God bless. Be free, be free.